Come along with me as we discuss the single greatest passive investment in all of 2025 and 2026. If you're coming from stocks, real estate, crypto, whatever other investment class it may be, or even just looking to grow your wealth in a new way, you've probably seen how traditional investment markets have delivered steady growth the past few years, but not explosive. What if I told you that there is an alternative investment class that has been quietly delivering triple-digit returns in recent years? It has historic long-term appreciation, beating many other benchmarks in other investment classes. What's going on, guys? My name is Riley, aka Pokemon Trader. I'm a collector and investor. I've been doing it since about 2014, and I've been doing it longer than 99.9% of other people in the space. That's what we're going to be talking about today, is the number one passive investment generator in recent history, and it's Pokemon cards. Today, we're going to explore why this could be one of the highest return opportunities in all of 2026, starting with the market backdrop, the key drivers, and finally, the practical ways for you to get started. Stick around to the end because we'll cover my top recommendation for tracking and building your position. Now, let's start with the big picture. How Pokemon stacks up against other investment classes. Now, Pokemon has been around for a long time. We're coming up on the 30th year anniversary, and over the course of its 30-year history, Pokemon has delivered massive returns, outclassing many other investments, with some recent sets being released in 2017, a set like Team Up that has returned 1,400% returns every year for 7 years. Now, a little bit of a caveat there. A lot of times what happens, as with most investments, it just goes sideways for a few years and then jumps up. That's exactly what happened with Team Up. It came out in 2019, so just about 7 years ago. And for the first while, it just kind of sat there. But quickly, people started realizing it was a good set, buying into it in droves and driving the price up. So a booster box, which is going to be the primary asset class that you should focus on within Pokemon, that came out 7 years ago that you could get at that time for roughly $80 to $100, is now selling for over $10,000. And because I want this channel to be interesting and entertaining, I also want it to be informative. And you have to understand here that that is the top set from that era. Each era tends to have a top set like this. Will they perform as well? Well, let's find out. And before we get any further into the video, I just want to make a small announcement that when I hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be opening this Evolving Skies booster box. These boxes are now going for around $2,500, where you could get them just a few years ago, 4 years ago, for about $100. So like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It really does help. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll rip this puppy wide open. So there are three main factors driving Pokemon prices up in 2026. Number one, and probably the least amount of effect on the market, is the 30th anniversary coming up. There's a lot of hype for that. It happens every 5 years. They do an anniversary set. We had one on the 20th, the 25th with celebrations, and now we have the 30th coming out this year. So with that on the horizon, many collectors and investors, people that collected even as kids, are coming back into the hobby, noticing their friends talking about it, noticing the videos online, and they're wanting to get back into collecting, driving up demand and driving up prices. You can even see Pokemon investing and collectible investing in general being talked about all over the place on the news currently. So the second driver would be the crypto market. This might be unpopular to my fellow Pokemon investors and YouTubers, but it seems to be the case. When the crypto market does really well, the Pokemon market also does really well. And this can be found out as evidenced by other content creators like Rudy from Alpha Investments. He does a massive number of transactions every month, and he always reports on how many payments he's getting via crypto, whether it's Bitcoin, USDC, whatever it may be. And whenever crypto is doing well, he talks about how he's receiving a lot of payments in crypto. And that makes sense, right? You have these people who are investing already in an alternative investment, and they're getting a lot of returns from that, and they're looking to just diversify a little bit, or maybe they're just taking profit and wanting to buy and collect something that they loved as a kid. So the third thing, and probably the biggest factor, is kind of a summarization of all of these things, and it's purely the demand. The demand for Pokemon right now is absolutely insane, and it's been that way starting in early 2024, but it really exploded at the end of 2024 in the fall when the Surging Sparks set first came out. So all of these factors funneling into the high demand is causing product to be scarce. You can't just go into Walmart or GameStop or Target or wherever it may be, any big box store, and get sealed product. If you go check your Walmart right now, chances are there's nothing there. Not even tins, not Pokeballs, not sleeves, nothing. Now, if you happen to catch a restock, you might want to pick some of that up because it's going to be gone within a day. So those are all of the main factors driving the price of Pokemon up. You just can't get it anywhere. So the scarcity of it, the rarity of it is causing people to FOMO into the hobby, and that's driving prices up. And again, I can't say this enough. I've talked to a lot of people who are just getting back into collecting Pokemon, or maybe they're considering investing, newer people in the space, and a lot of them are rightfully a little bit concerned about sinking a lot of their money into Pokemon. And I understand that concern, but you also have to understand this hobby has been going for 30 years. The Pokemon IP is the single largest IP in the history of the world, and it's not even close. It outperforms every other IP, whether it's Hello Kitty, Star Wars, Disney, whatever it may be. It is so far and above those, it's not even comparable. And with that, like I said, it's been going for 30 years. Now, if you zoom in on any 1 or 2 years, or even 3 or 4 years, you'll find that there is some volatility, as there should be. It's good and healthy for a market like this to have some volatility. If there's no volatility and everything just goes up and to the right forever, then you have what happened in 2025. So if we zoom out past that short-term mindset and we go to the 2 to 5, really 5 to 10 year range, Pokemon has only ever gone up. Now, you'll find some people talking about the dead era of Pokemon. This was an era past where my generation got into Pokemon in 1999. So our generation was kind of growing out of it. It was probably around the 2004 to 2005 range that it started and went until about 2013 or 14. A lot of people consider that the dead era. But even in that era, or near the end era, when I got into it, a base set booster box was still hundreds to $1,000. So if you picked up a base set booster box in 1999 or 2000, or even 2001 at its cheapest, then you would still be looking at 10x returns in about 10 years. And that is considered low in Pokemon investing. As I stated at the beginning of the video, many of the top sets do far, far better than that. 2 examples of that, as I mentioned earlier in the video, but just to remind you, are the Team Up set and the Evolving Skies set. Both of these are considered the best of class in their era. Team Up came out in the Sun and Moon, at the end of the Sun and Moon era, and Evolving Skies kind of came out sort of in the later middle portion of the Sword and Shield era. And both have incredible set value, and their booster boxes are $10,000 for the Team Up, about $2,500 right now for the Evolving Skies. So within 2 of the most recent generations, you have these massive performers. And those aren't the only ones. There are many sets within there that also perform really well. I like to talk about this in some of my videos, but if you go to the worst performing set of all time, I'll put it right here. This is largely considered the worst set of all time. Of all 30 years of Pokemon history, this is the worst set, and for good reason. If you look at the set and see these top chase cards, you'll understand why it's considered one of the worst sets of all time. But even a set like this still outperforms many other asset classes. This box has still appreciated about 15x over the last 15 years. This box is still currently selling for about $4,500 last time I checked, where if you bought it back when it first came out in around 2014 or 15, I believe you could have gotten it for about $80. And even the worst set of all time has still appreciated 50x over the last 15 years. So hopefully I've convinced you of the historicity and the long-term gains of the Pokemon space, but how do you get started? Well, there are a couple key phrases that you'll need to remember, and I'll follow it up with some tools that you will need to start your investing journey. Number one, in the investing space, we always like to say, sealed is king, booster boxes are king. If you follow that rule, you will do well over the long term. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't other products that you can get as well. I buy them when I can, when I see that it's a good deal. You can look at my other videos for more information on how to do that and what products to look for. But in general, you want to stick to booster boxes, and if you can, booster box cases. And if you don't know, a booster box case, as you can see here, is 6 booster boxes in a sealed cardboard case with stop tape. Now, some of the tools that you're going to need, we'll start with the number one best tool of them all. It came on the scene just under a year ago and has quickly overtaken the hobby. Everyone is using this app, and of course, it's the Collector app. I am not sponsored by Collector. I just really like the app. I use it every day. I use it in my videos. It's an amazing app. Side note, if you want me to make a video on how to use the Collector app, leave a comment down below and I'll make a video about that. But the Collector app is absolutely amazing. Now, when I started collecting and investing, I was just a spreadsheet guy. I liked putting in the release date and the set and my quantity, as you can see here, and what my price is, how much I paid, all of that stuff. Well, Collector app basically just does that for you, where you don't have to do it manually, but you can still check the prices daily. And it has links under each listing where you can just go right to TCG Player or eBay to see what these products are currently selling for. So the Collector app, absolutely. If you get one tool out of all of these, just get that. The other two I just mentioned would be TCG Player and eBay. And these are just great tools for checking the most recent sales, seeing where things are going. Is there a buyout going on in this product? Many sets are having buyouts right now, but one coordinated buyout that happened was in the Paldea Evolved ETBs, or Elite Trainer boxes. This happened about 2 months ago, where someone or some group of people bought about $60,000 worth of regular ETBs on TCG Player. So TCG Player would probably be my second recommendation, but really Collector is pulling data from TCG Player and eBay anyways. Now, eBay is the least performing of these 3 tools. You still need it in your arsenal, but nobody likes eBay. And the problem with eBay is you can't even really see accurate prices on their website. They don't disclose it for whatever reason. So you have to go to a site like 130point.com/sales. And what that does is it scrapes the eBay website for the data of what the boxes or product actually sold for. So you can see actual sold listings. Listen, guys, if you're not investing in Pokemon, what are you doing? So hopefully this entertained you. Hopefully it helped. If you are going to start your investing journey because of me, because of this video, leave a comment down below. I respond to all the comments I get. That's about it. Peace.